about 1948, ran a sawmill. Chris Drummond on the engine. He's the primary engineer on this, and it looks like we've got several there helping, and it looks like we've got Nicole Walla, part of the ladies of Steve, and we'll tell a little bit more her a little bit later. But again, this is a 50 horsepower case. This is your average style locomotive, and the first part you got there is the broiler, and that's in the back is where you build the fire. We use wood around here, but you could have used coal. And it takes about an hour and a half to heat one of these up. And that engine, there's a water level on that, and if Nelson pushes that water gauge, you'll see this. And then if you needed, were in trouble and you needed water in a hurry, they would probably put on a series of short blasts and like an emergency distress call, and that would be a series of shorts. And if they want to demonstrate that, here's what this would sound like. And that means they needed help. But there are several engine codes that they use that meant different things in order to communicate. So we appreciate these guys bringing this engine through. 50 horsepower case, that was an average size for the case line. They built clear down to the 30 horse on up to 150 horse. And if you're aware that there is 150 horse,
and that particular one company has self big ass motor. Different ones on the ground and this actually was made by one of old chocolate factories passed on here Mary Collenberg. He made this little replica of John Deere ski, and Ethan Brown Ellen about in the back. So there's two different little ones. Now here's one that's like I said, one sign, pull it out behind the barn or whatever, or original, nice trailer tractor, original dress there, and that's the vacuum from the chip there's nothing there. There's a very powerful tractor back there. Most up front there on the steering, it's got open gear to steering on that. So I'm sorry, 1953.
I think we'll give it a try there.
Once Dana gets down here, he'll tell us everything we did wrong.
I know it's been a long time since I've been so inside there we've got a firebox. And so what this thing uses is wood and water to fuel it. We can also use coal, that burns hotter. So we're using wood today. And so inside here we've got a big box, and that's where our fire is. And then we've got tubes going all the way through here, and all those tubes are surrounded with water. And so that hot air is going through those tubes and heating that water. So what happens when you're wanting to make macaroni and cheese and you're boiling, you're making your noodles? What happens when you're boiling that water? What are you creating? Steam, exactly. And where does that steam go? Yep, exactly. So this is what we call the dome right here. So there's that black piece kind of behind there. That's what we call the dome, and that's where our steam is getting collected. And then through the dome, we've got various sorts of piping going through the governor, the throttle, and going behind this cylinder inside what we call a steam chest. And so this is a single cylinder, a simple engine, and so there's a piston inside here that goes back and forth. And with that piston, there's like what we call a D valve that is kind of in the shape of a D, and so that transfers that steam from one side to the other through force. So it's pushing that piston back and forth, back and forth. And then we're going on to the connecting rod and crank disc, where we're transforming that linear motion now into rotational motion. And that's what causes the flywheel to turn. And when we engage the clutch, we can also move the whole tractor as a whole. So these were at the turn of the century. These were the very early steam engines. They were initially designed for threshing. How many of you like donuts and pasta? Yeah, that's how we, the early threshing days, that's what they used these for making those bakers to get that wheat get the grain separated from that wheat. So they were very important. And back then too, because it took so many people to operate these, it was like a community event. I mean, the women, the children, everybody was involved. It was agriculture was more of a community event because it took so many people to operate an operation like this. So my co-founder Jen and I, we started Ladies of Steam. We're on Facebook, and so we've been invited to actually even other countries and do demonstrations. How we used to do this in America versus how other countries would too. And so we've just created a platform for women. I am selling some of our apparel here as well. A portion of those proceeds go towards women, funding scholarships for them. So, do you have any more questions? Yeah. How does the whistle work? Well, we have each pull the whistle. So he's just pulling the lever, and so that's opening up from the boiler. That's bringing steam through that pipe over there, and it's opening that valve up by pulling that string. And so everyone will have an opportunity to get up on the engine. So I've got gloves back there so everybody can jump on, but in the meantime, yeah, let's ask questions.
How fast does this go?
This goes about 3 miles an hour, so about walking pace.
How fast can it stop?
How fast can it stop? It can stop very quickly. So this is, and these things do not have brakes. How do, something that doesn't have brakes, how can it stop, right? So it's all driven by the what we call the throttle. So the steam inside the cylinder holds it tight, and it with that and with the friction clutch, it holds it in place. So I mean, it works as a brake as well.
How hot can the water get?
How hot can the water get? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, it goes past boiling temperature, and it's a range because the hotter or the higher our pressure is, the hotter our water can get. What's that?
How often do you have to keep your water?
We're just gonna go just a little bit past that. We don't bring it all the way back. So bring it, just a little bit past. There you go. Good job. Thank you.
But anyway, it's been in our family since then. The real good old engine that always works here in this community, and happy to have our daughter and her family. Really bought this engine about 1962 or 3. and an auction is called so it's been here for a number of years, but Taylor's was a pretty popular engine in this part of the country because we had a dealer at Springfield Machinery Company that sold Taylor's equipment. So again, his dad was willing to have his office engine about 1961 or so, 60 or 61. We sold it. It was our first show was selling in 1962. So it and Hollywood engine are only two students out here that have been has made every show that we have. This is a 59 show. But this engine was sold here in Springfield, Missouri by the Springfield Machinery Company. And in Green County just about on the block. It was used to help build the original Highway 65 here in Francis, but it only worked the Green County line. It started Springfield, went to Green County, Christian County line, and turned around and back. So it's been all its lifetime right there, and within 10-mile, 15-mile radius of the showground. Only time it left this part of the country is when they hauled it down to Billings for the first show in 1962. But a big engine takes a lot of work, a lot of help to keep it going. And we're happy to have my happy family involved and keep the steam engines all running.